In the headlines, as Nigeria's government fingers 96 terrorism financiers, Borno State Governor warns against allowing ISWAP to grow. Wives of Bureau de Change operators arrested for Boko Haram sponsorship demand formal charge in court. Zamfara Police Command distribute 7 million naira to widows of slain policemen. On the foreign scene, Myanmar's deposed leader Aung San Suu Kyi faces new charge amid fresh violence. Hello and welcome to Trust News Update. I am Ayubelia. Thank you for joining. The news in details. 4 members of a family have been found dead at a poultry farm on Ongwar Street in Abuja Area Council of the Federal Capital Territory. The spokesperson of the FCT Police Command, DSP Ade Josephine, confirmed the incident, saying the police is investigating the matter. Reports say that one of the staff of the poultry on Thursday went to feed some cattle inside the farm and found a guard identified as Dominic Adegeze, his daughters Victoria and Judith, and his 1-month-old son Peter dead, while his wife Laraba unconscious and taken to the University of Abuja Teaching Hospital, Gwagwalada. Nigeria's government Thursday says it identified 96 terrorism financiers and 123 companies involved, insisting that the fight against pervasive corruption as one of its 3 cardinal promises to Nigerians is yielding results. Minister of Information and Culture Lai Mohammed said this at a news conference in Abuja, the nation's capital. Trust TV's Shafiu Suleiman reports.
Speaking on what he calls structural and governance reforms aimed at tackling the monster, Lai Mohammed says the Buhari government is deploying institutional and legal frameworks to defeat the long-term enemy of the country, in addition to unmasking terror financiers and collaborators.
The analysis by the Nigerian Financial Intelligence Unit, NFIU, in 2021 revealed 96 financiers of terrorism in Nigeria, 424 associate supporters of the financiers, involvement of about 123 companies and 33 bureau de change, in addition to identifying 26 suspected bandits, kidnappers, and 7 co-conspirators. The analysis has resulted in the arrest of 45 suspects who will soon face prosecution and seizure of assets.
Reeling out the statistics, the minister says implementation of the Single Treasury Account, TSA, hits 90% with a saving of 4 billion naira monthly in bank charges. Recovery of 700 billion naira in 2020 alone, and detection of 54,000 fraudulent payrolls in government system through whistleblower policy, amongst others.
In 2021 alone, the FCC secured a total of 2,220 convictions. That represents a 127% increase in the number of convictions, which was now 76 recorded in 2020, and a far cry from the 195 convictions secured in 2016, the 189 in 2017, and the 312 convictions in 2018, and the 1,280 recorded in 2019.
The media engagement is coming barely a week after an international anti-corruption watchdog, the Transparency International Corruption Perception Index 2021, rates Nigeria as 154 amongst 200 countries grappling with souring public sector corruption enabled by bribery, official extortion and nepotism. Shafiu Suleiman, Trust TV News, Abuja.
In the meantime, wives of Bureau de Change operators in Kano who were detained in connection with terrorism financing are asking authorities to visit the case of their husbands detained nearly 11 months without being charged to court since their arrest. Trust TV correspondent Atrisk reports that the women alongside their children visit palace of the Emir of Kano, Aminu Ado Bayero, to seek for his intervention. The report.
For almost 1 year now, these women and children have been waiting to hear the news of their men's whereabouts. But so far, there seems to be no good news for them. They say their husbands were initially invited by security operatives to respond to some questions, but since then, they have not either come home nor sent a word regarding their situation.
Since they invited them 11 months ago, we haven't heard anything from them. We are just waiting with our children, and life is difficult for us. We can't pay our children's school fees, and even those assisting are getting tired of us. We even went to Abuja, where they told us the case will be coming on in court, yet nothing. More importantly, they have not told us what they are being charged with, and no one is telling us anything for 11 months now. We need help. We don't know if they are dead or alive. No one is telling us anything. We need help. We need government intervention.
According to these people, the absence of their husbands and parents is making life difficult for them, as they beg authorities to come to their aid by at least telling them the whereabouts of their men.
At the first place, we thought he was kidnapped. My mother is in terrible condition all about this. We are seeking for the government and government to see us through about this. We voted them to protect us, not to be against us.
For almost 11 months. It is very unfortunately without seeing my dad. I don't even know whether he's alive or not. Hearing his voice has been very difficult for us in our family. We are suffering.
To see our fathers. I've not been able to attend school almost for 11 months. I finished my secondary school. I'm still at home every day. I have nothing to do. I'm just waiting for him to come. I've already lost this year for my schooling, so I don't have anything. Please, I'm calling for this government. Please help me release our fathers, because I've been very awesome. I don't have anything to do.
Meanwhile, the Association of Bureau de Change in Kano confirmed that the people involved are with the Nigeria security authorities on allegation of aiding terrorism, and that they are doing their best to get to the root of the matter.
Then at the time they arrest them, they say they wanted to talk to them to know what is the situation. We just leave them like that. So we wait small, we wait, they don't do anything. We are still waiting up to this time. They don't even allow us to see them or anything from them. We don't hear anything from them, we and their families.
In the meantime, the Emir of Kano, Alhaji Aminu Ado Bayero, who received the women in his palace, directed that their complaint be put before him in writing for assessment and subsequent possibility of his intervention. Atrisk, Trust TV News, Kano.
Governor of Borno State, Babagana Zulum, has warned that Boko Haram's menace will be a child's play if the Islamic State in West Africa province ISWAP is allowed to grow. He gave the warning when he appeared on the weekly briefing organized by the Presidential Communication Team at the State House, Abuja, on Thursday in Abuja. Governor Zulum tasked the Nigerian army to re-strategize and defeat ISWAP, noting that the group posed a threat to the entire nation.
And poverty in the Northeast sub-region. The outcome of the Recovery and Peace-Building Assessment by the World Bank, EU and UN revealed that the total sum of about $6.9 billion was lost as a result of the insurgency in the entire northeastern state. Out of this, Borno State accounts for over 2/3%. The insurgents have destroyed about 5,000 classrooms in Borno State. About 800 municipal buildings were destroyed, comprising of local government secretariat, prisons, traditional rulers' buildings, among others. They destroyed about 713 energy distribution lines. Furthermore, they destroyed about 1,600 water sources. In addition to this one, we harvested a total number of about 49,311 widows and about 49,917 orphans. These are official figures. The unofficial figures are more than this. We have seen in Borno State, the incidences of bomb attacks has been reduced drastically. Yes. For how long? Before then, on a daily basis, we have been witnessing bombings throughout Borno State. But this has been reduced by about 80%, if not more than 90%. Reconstruction of lives and livelihoods embarked upon relentlessly. Over 5,000 physical infrastructure built by the state and federal government. Partnership with international community helped to strengthen government efforts. We partner with international organizations. Yes, sometimes we differ in our own understandings, but most importantly, the UN OCHA, the UN agencies, and some international organizations and local organizations have given great support to the government of Borno State because we have what we call a return strategy. High-level steering committee meeting headed by the deputy governor. Membership cut across different strata.
Staying on security matters, bandits kill one Aliu Ibrahim, a commercial driver at Tasharbiri village of the Musa local government area of Katsina State. The suspected bandits crossed into Tasharbiri village from a nearby forest around 8:30 p.m. on Monday after blocking Katsina-Mararaba Ankara Road, where they assaulted and robbed passengers and other road users. The commercial driver died when he attempted to escape, as 20 passengers were also abducted in the process. Abdullahi Ahmadi has details of the report.
The villagers here say bandits blocked road, harass, assault, rob, and to some extent kill passengers and other road users severally on the same spot. Tasharbiri village, which has a population of over 5,000 people, have been deserted for the fear of attack by bandits and other criminals. The villagers, who flee the community to other locations for safety, called on the government to deploy more security personnel to protect them from the brutality of the suspected bandits.
8:30 p.m. Kidnappers, they are out from the bush beside our town with their gun. About 8 people, 8 kidnappers. They have blocked the road.
These criminals are giving us serious headache. We don't know what to do. Government need to do something about it. We are tired and we are weak. They, however, lamented the inaction of military personnel who are just 1 kilometer away from the village to their camp at Marabar Dang Ali. Back at the family house of Aliu Ibrahim at Yentumaki town, people were seen trooping to register their condolences. Badia Aliu, who is his widow, expressed shock and lament the incessant killings occasioned by the contemporary insecurity situation bedeviling Katsina and other northwestern states. The day he left, I saw some strange things on his face. His son was waving at him as he went out of this house. Something happened and he turned back as if he forgot something. He came in twice and went out, though he didn't utter a word. May his soul rest in perfect peace. Amen. Also at Entumaki town, Trust television camera captured the face of Fatima Ahmad, the younger sister to one of the abductees, Aisha Ahmad, who said the bandits are demanding the sum of 20 million naira as ransom to release her sister. In a related development, suspected bandits have attacked Ruangode village of Faskari local government area in Katsina state and abducted 38 people. Reports from Ruangode indicate that the bandits arrived at the village in their numbers and started shooting sporadically to scare people from any possible resistance. Though there is a military camp at Government Day Secondary School Ruangode, the villagers say the bandits operated for almost an hour without any response from either the soldiers or other security operatives in the area. Dr. Bashir Usman Ruangode lamented the inaction of the military camped in the village and called for thorough investigation into the matter.
They were under possible attack. So up till around 7 p.m. of that particular fateful day, nobody actually did anything as proactive measure to prevent the suspected possible attack. In fact, when it all started, gunshots were heard, and they keep on calling me that they are receiving guns, they are hearing gunshots. I was pacifying them that yes, the military are about to do something. So I had to continue putting call to the military officers I have contact with. Up to the time, one of them told me that they are going to reinforce those ones in Ruangode from Shemi with their armored vehicle. Unfortunately, those in Ruangode, from the reports I have confirmed before and even after during my visit yesterday at the community, they told me that the army station in Ruangode didn't do anything to come out to the roadside where they can prevent the attack.
When contacted, the police public relations officer, Katsina State Command, SP Gambo Isa, told Trust Television that the command is investigating the two attacks. Abdullahi Ismayamadi, Trust Television News, Katsina.
Been restored to Oyun Baptist High School in Ijabon, Oyun local government area of Kwara State after the school authorities returned hijab-wearing students to home. Few people sustained injuries during protest over the incident on Thursday. The state government had made use of hijab by students optional. The report.
For the past few weeks, hijab-wearing female Muslim students have been driven out of this public school in spite of the directive by the state government that willing female students should be allowed to wear either the hijab or beret. A visit to the school on Thursday shows youth from dominant faiths mobilized to the school and engaged in a face-off before they were dispersed by security operatives. Though normalcy has returned, security operatives are stationed around the area to forestall another breakdown of law and order. Police Public Relations Officer in Kwara State, while confirming the incident, says the issue started last week when some hijab-wearing students were turned back by the school authority, and the insistence of the parents of the girls to ensure the entrance of the girls led to the crisis this morning.
Sometimes last week, we had an information that from the Jagbo axis that the Baptist Secondary School in Jagbo, about 7 children of the from the Islamic faith were denied entry into the school with hijab, and that has been on for like 1 or 2 weeks. And suddenly yesterday we were told that the people in the hijab, the parents and many other people protested to Kwara State government, and the government decided to send a delegation there to resolve the matter, because sometimes last year we had issues in Ilorin where government intervened and camp was restored. So it was surprising that the same thing had erupted in the Jagbo area yesterday. So this morning we heard that a lot of people brandishing guns and the rest of them had almost invaded the school. So based on that information, the Commissioner of Police directed teams of policemen to go there and restore peace. And that was what happened this morning.
The police spokesman, however, could not confirm if there are any casualties. But a source says a fatally wounded boy is receiving treatment in an undisclosed hospital.
You're watching Trust News Update. Coming up after the break. How missing order paper stops House proceedings. Details and more shortly.
Coronavirus disease, COVID-19, is an infectious disease caused by SARS-CoV-2 virus. Most people who fall sick with COVID-19 will experience mild to moderate symptoms and recover without special treatment. However, some will become seriously ill and require medical attention. The virus can spread from an infected person's mouth or nose in small liquid particles when they cough, sneeze, speak, sing, or breathe. These particles range from larger respiratory droplets to smaller aerosols. You can be infected by breathing in the virus if you're near someone who has COVID-19 or
Thanks for staying. You're watching Trust News Update. Now let's have another look at some of the top stories again. Nigeria's government Thursday says it identified 96 terrorism financiers and 123 companies involved, insisting that the fight against pervasive corruption is yielding results. Plus, wives of Bureau de Change operators in Kano are asking authorities to visit the case of their husbands who are detained for nearly 11 months without being charged to court since their arrest. Right now, Nigeria Center for Disease Control has reported 100 COVID-19 infections across the 14 states and the Federal Capital Territory. The agency, in its update for Thursday, February 3rd, said that 217 persons were discharged after recovering from the infection, while there were no fatalities. Nigeria now has a total of 253,505 confirmed cases, 229,893 recoveries, and 3,136 deaths. Now, breaking story reaching us says that Zamfara State House of Assembly is making fresh moves to impeach Deputy Governor Mahdi Aliyu. Aliyu has refused to defect to the APC with Governor Bello Matole. Deputy Speaker of the State House of Assembly has submitted a document for the impeachment of the State Deputy Governor Mahdi Gusau to the Speaker of the Assembly. Members of the Assembly are accusing the Deputy Governor of breach of Constitution, abuse of office, and financial fraud. The Speaker of the State Assembly, Nasiru Muazu, is expected to study the document, after which the content will be made public. Now, federal government is working with Kaduna State government on the implementation of the at-risk children protection in the state. Stakeholders at the meeting said that the project, if implemented, will address the issue of almajiri and other vulnerable children in the street. The report.
The menace of almajiri and out-of-school children have been a source of worry to the nation, especially as security challenges continue to overwhelm the state apparatus, prompting government to set up ARCP to address the challenges of marginalized youth and children aged 0 to 24 years, as well as attain the Sustainable Development Goals. Resource person Dotun Adebayo says the two-day capacity building workshop is to build the capacity of the state to address the issue.
Once this is concluded, it will mean that there's capacity in the states to implement the program whereby we're going to be reaching out to vulnerable children who are at risk within Kaduna, and we have invited people from various local governments to participate so that they can identify the beneficiaries that are going to be targeted for the sake of this program. We are working with various existing databases, and there's going to be also data gathering, which will be done not by us at the federal level, but by the state actors. So the state actors who know these children, who know where they are, who know where they reside, who know what the problems are the ones going to identify the children across the various local governments.
Some participants say the project is going to curb down the menace of sexual and gender-based violence, banditry, and communal clashes.
The target for the project is at-risk children, because we have a number of children on the street. And tackling the issue of almajiri, I think Kaduna State took a bold step as a program they initiated sometimes last year to evacuate a number of them from the state. Why? Because by statistics, a number of them are not really from Kaduna State. They are from neighboring states who are sent for searching for knowledge to Kaduna State, but because of one or two circumstances of them not being able to fend for themselves is why they go on the street begging for what to eat.
Let's now join Otumba Yomi Otubela, the National President of the National Association of Proprietors of Private Schools, to give us perspectives on this. Thank you for joining us on News Update. Well, now, I mean, the issue of safety of school children, comes to bear whenever we hear the name Hanifa Abubakar or Sylvester Oromoni. I mean, and if you look at this project, what are we doing really with regards to the safety of school children at your own level?
Yes, safety and security of school children and school property, as well as all stakeholders within the school, that includes both teaching and non-teaching staff, is important to all of us who are in the education sector. More importantly is the fact that over time we have engaged government to see how we can collaborate to ensure that security personnel are available within the school environment. While individual schools are encouraged to have their personal security, and we also encourage schools, especially private, to invest in their locality, the security in their locality. We also expect government to deploy security personnel among the police in vicinity where schools operate from, because we are not in an ideal situation as we speak currently in the country, and it called for a special skill and ways of combating these menace that have made teaching and learning almost impossible in some areas of the Federation. So we hope that every school management will have safety policy in place, and will have committee that check the adherence and implementation of this safety policy. As a matter of fact, in National Association of Proprietors of Private Schools, our slogan is that safety first before teaching and learning.
For joining us on News Update. Unfortunately, we are not able to take as much from you at this point. We really appreciate you joining us. All right, with that, we wrap up Trust News Update. Do all to click the subscribe button on our YouTube and also connect with us via our social media platforms. I am Ayubelia. Thank you for watching, and bye for now.